Welcome back, everybody, to the Business Resource Zone, your source for quality content to help you start, grow, and sell a business. My name is John Vitale. I'm your host today. And today I have with me a good friend of mine and guest, Paul Ellis.
Yeah,
Welcome, Paul.
thank you. Glad to be here.
Paul is the Economic Development Director for the City of Fairview Heights. I want to discuss a little bit about the city, incentives, and other types of programs that might be available just to businesses looking to come into the city.
Yep.
Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I've been an economic developer for more than 3 decades. Back when we were dodging the dinosaurs and moving no, moving rocks around. No, it's very much changed. It originally, when I started, it was very much recruiting, especially smokestacks, industrial businesses, and it's the dimensions have changed so much. It's much more focused. The focus has moved from business recruitment to business retention, working with the firms that are already in your community that make up to 80% of your job growth in any community, and then creating jobs through things like business incubators and other programs of that sort. I'm a certified economic developer. There's about 1,500 of us across the country. We're certified through the International Economic Development Council, and there's a fairly rigorous program of experience and training and so on, documentation that you have to have. And so I've been certified the last few years, and I'm also a certified planner with the AICP credentials.
Should tell us a little bit. What exactly is an economic development director? I get that question a lot.
Yeah, well, once tongue in cheek, I told people most people don't know what I do, but when they hear about it, they think they could do it better. So I am there to help at every stage, from a gleam in your eye of a business. People come in all the time and say, I'd like to start a business. What do I do? We help direct them and connect them and refer them to resources. And then once they've got their business up and running, we try to help them with everything, issues with the city, issues with, I've had people come in and meet with us on utility issues, on state issues, and we've also helped them with marketing, with demographics, with all, whatever you might need. We usually have a way to serve that. And then, of course, what my city council, I think, most highly values and our community appreciates is we're the recruiters out there. So when you come to Fairview Heights, and you see that 3.5 million square feet of retail space that we have with a super regional mall, 7 other centers, and several hundred other businesses up and down our different corridors. To a certain extent, it's my job to curate that and make sure that we have the latest and the greatest as much as that's possible, and also to make sure we fill vacancies and that we're constantly selling the city as the retail hub of Southern Illinois.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Yes, it is.
So, why is it important as a business coming into your city? Why should they talk to you?
Well, a lot of times I find that people, all of us have an incomplete idea of what's available to us. And that's why when you're in business, you always want to make contacts, not just to sell things, but to learn things. That Enviro scan is what we used to call it. Some people call it. There's a lot of things going on that you don't always know. And if you talk to most cities, most full service cities, like Fairview Heights is one, you'll find there's a lot more services that the city can provide. And sometimes there's a lot more going on than than you would ever guess. We have a series of incentives for development. We also have right now our All In campaign, which you can see behind us. We're fairly unique in taking a leadership role with other communities, I think, right now, in that we're helping to promote buying, since we're such a retail center. We're helping to promote that through an online campaign that has video, all kinds of other deployments, and an app that customers can sign up for and businesses can participate in. And that's off to a great start. Our different incentives, we have everything from a general business assistance program that can be a lot of different things. We have tax increment finance districts, we have business districts, we have incentive agreements, we have our own enterprise zone, which is a big deal. And we are the first community in Southern Illinois to have PACE financing, which stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy. It's a way to finance energy efficiency improvements that's very novel, very popular, and we're the only community that has it right now.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about this all-in
Sure.
app for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull this up here
Pull
so
it
you
up.
guys can
Yep,
see that.
Yep. Okay, so this is the low-tech way to know about it. If you go to Fairview Heights IL, it's all spelled out, .com, you can view our website. If you go to the cities, and on that website, you'll be able to sign up if you're a consumer for that app. There's also a partners tab, so if you have a business, right now it's just the businesses in Fairview Heights, you can sign up and be part of it at no cost. So we're offering every business in Fairview Heights an opportunity to be part of a very professional and exciting marketing program. And it doesn't cost them anything. All they have to do is contact us or respond to a contact in a lot of cases, and we'll set it all up. We have a group called The Force, which is a consultancy out of our neighboring city of O'Fallon. They've done other things for us and other communities, and this, when you see this program, you'll be impressed. You can also download the app, as I mentioned. The app gives you access to every store that's on there, to offers from all the stores that choose to put them on. And we have a series of videos and other information that are starting to debut. They're kind of rolling out one after the other as part of that program.
Interesting. You want to tell us a little bit about the city itself?
Yeah, well, people are surprised. We are a city of 17,000 that grows to about 57,000 every day because we're the retail hub. We've been here for 50 years. We've had the St. Clair Square Mall and other centers developed around it, and people continue to come here from as far away as Paducah or Springfield or, points in between. So we have that going for us as far as a retail center. We are a lodging center, and we're close to a number of things alike. One that I personally think is a great asset that's underrated, the Worldwide Technology Raceway. We're the closest, now we'll arm wrestle with Collinsville, but we're the closest, we think we're the closest full service city to that facility. And we're right on Interstate 64. We're easy to get to. Everything's very visible. And we're now in kind of our second phase in a lot of cases, of retailers kind of swapping out. So you'll see a lot of changes at the mall. If you haven't been there, there's even more coming. For instance, Sears is currently closed and empty, but we have tenants ready to come in there, and we're working on that. And you'll notice if you've been here in past years, you drive down the street, there's a whole lot of changes. Things like we had a couple retailers that closed, that went out of business, and now we have a Total Wine store, which is a great place to go. We have a Planet Fitness now coming into the former Toys R Us, and we have an Urban Air Adventure Park, which is right now at number one with a bullet for people accessing the consumer program. Everyone wants to know about Urban Air Adventure Park. So we've got a lot of other retailers beyond that, but we're swapping out some of the older, tireder concepts as they go kind of fall by the boards. We're bringing newer things in. So if you haven't been to Fairview Heights in a couple of years, you haven't been to Fairview Heights.
Interesting. Now, what would you say to the folks out there looking to come into the town that says, the malls are dying? Mm-hmm. What's unique about our mall? Footprint-wise, traffic-wise?
Yeah, our mall is one of the strongest one. It's the second highest producing, busiest in the region.
Wow.
It is not very far behind. It's the mall that's in, I forgot the name, but the mall that's on the south on 255 as you head up north. Anyway, it's the second busiest mall in the region, and they have a 1 or 2% vacancy rate. Not hard to get tenants in there, not hard to get customers in there. Again, people, I don't know what people look for, but I think a lot of the media coverage tends to be a little slanted. They seem to cover closures more than they cover openings, and frankly, there has been some impact. It has not been the internet killing the malls. The internet now is about 11% of total retail sales, which is about what the Sears catalog had in its heyday. And what's really been difficult for a lot of businesses, not just retailers, is debt burden that a lot of them picked up in the Great Recession. So a lot of that's kind of getting worked through. We're seeing, the ones that got overextended, are their companies are closing, and we're seeing newer, healthier ones coming in.
Interesting. So, Paul, not every town has an EDC director. For
Yeah.
those maybe looking to move into another town, who should they talk to?
I would always start with you can always come into any city hall and ask them who's in charge of economic development. Sometimes it's the mayor, sometimes it's a city administrator, sometimes they have a community development or an economic development director. It just varies from city to city. There's no prescribed way that a city in any state has to deal with that. I think you'll find when you've got an economic development director, in my case and in other cases, that's full time. So even though I'm a certified planner, we have a great planner who runs our planning department, and some great people that work for her, and they take care of the zoning administration and making sure places stay clean and that type of thing, and also long range planning. And I don't have to do any of that. It's a division of labor. Not every community can afford it. Not every community is committed to it.
You want to talk about some other initiatives maybe the city has going on, like the MEBI?
Yeah, so we are working with other communities in our region for a small business incubator. And we are getting close to, I think our launch will be happening soon. It's called the Metro East Business Incubator. It is targeted especially to help minorities and women in business, but we're interested in anybody that wants to start a business in the Metro East. We have a few people from time to time that start businesses. They can't find everything to date. They haven't been able to find everything they need in the community. They end up going across the river or someplace else. We want to keep them local. We want to see their businesses grow and thrive in our own communities. And so we have a commitment both from the state of Illinois and from a number of our regional institutions and a number of our cities and St. Clair County to get this effort off the ground. So we're making progress with that.
Interesting. I will save one piece of it for another interview with the general manager for St. Clair Square, but you want to maybe touch upon just slightly maybe their incentive to come into the mall, their incubator incentive, if you will.
Yeah, well, they have a program that's what's called specialty leasing program. And so a lot of people, they don't look at the mall when they're starting or they're new to an area. They don't feel they have the wherewithal to be at the mall. And it's basically an incubator program that they already run that offers a reduced rent for a period of time for businesses that meet the criteria that they're looking for. It's very exciting. They're doing a lot of it actually they're doing it in a number of malls around the country, but St. Clair Square is one of them.
And I've seen one of them actually happen here locally. It was pretty unique.
Yeah.
Paul, I know they're going to have lots of questions for you. How do they reach you? What's a good contact information for you?
Okay, so I'll give you two. My office phone number is 618-489-2033. Or you can email me. My email is pretty simple. This is the simplest email I've ever had. I usually have like a 36 digit or letter email. This one's really simple. It's Ellis, my last name, at COFH, which stands for City of Fairview Heights .org. And I am always accepting phone calls and emails, and be happy to talk to anybody that might be interested.
I know you're a wealth of knowledge. Please reach out to him with any questions. Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah, thank
really
you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Till next time, folks, I'll see you in the zone.